Welcome to Highly Social 901, the podcast where we dive into the vibrant world of social interactions and connections. Join us as we explore fascinating topics, share engaging stories, and interview incredible guests who are making waves in their communities. Whether you're looking to enhance your social skills or just enjoy some lively conversations, this is the place for you. Tune in and get ready to elevate your social game.
I hate you.
What did I do, Chubby, man?
I had to pee.
Go tinkle then, nigga.
Motherfucker, look. I'm sitting over here like, all right, cool. We can start up in a minute. All I hear is music. I was like, okay, the song came on. Why this not sounding like the regular song though? This sounded like the intro. I look up, you starting the shit. Hell no. I was like, this motherfucker here started this shit up. I had to pee. Hold on.
He will be alright, sir. Every little thing is going to be alright. Oh shit. What am I supposed to do? We're waiting on his little chunky ass to get back. Let me find me a proper light for it. He even still back out there? Because he hasn't came to the door. I'm kind of suspicious and worried. Yeah. Appreciate everybody coming through and tuning in. The fat man had to go to the restaurant once again. When he play this shit back, he gonna say something to me. But knowing him, he probably ain't gonna never go back and watch. So I probably get to skate free with that one, buddy. Oh shit. Like always, you know we appreciate y'all coming through to check out Highly Social 901, where you come to chat but you stay to chill until the fat, well, he ain't just really fat. Till the bald man get back, I ain't gonna finish the rest of this shit. I'm just gonna sit here and chill though. You know what? Until the fat man get back, how about what you throw some old Tanami real quick? Let's watch some Gundam real quick, y'all, till he get back. What's up, fat man? Fat man, Scoop in the building, yo. Yo, I was at work today and we had a visit, right? So he was telling niggas to come in uniform and not wear hats and shit. This one nigga
Whatever y'all
came.
say, y'all gotta do.
This one nigga came to work, fool. He said, "What's up?" I said, "What's up?" I kept walking. I stopped mid in my goddamn tracks. I looked back hard. I said, "Nigga, you bald."
What the fuck? Nigga, you stupid as hell. You is so fucking stupid.
He always had on a hat, fool. So it kind of threw me off.
And motherfucker, see, this is shit.
And then I said it to somebody. I said, "Hey, I didn't know that nigga was bald." They said, "Oh no, he just shaved this shit out." I said, "Oh, okay, but still, he bald." Like,
Hey, what's the problem with that? You gonna let the nigga be bald, ain't it?
cause that freshly new bald has a different shine, fool. Like every light was just glistening off that nigga.
I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. Yes, it does. Cause like when I went ahead and shaved my head off, it was like, yeah, just you're new here. You're new here. You can tell you're new here.
Shiny man on the block.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
so
tell that shit.
I am your host, Loud. This is your host, Sensei. Third host, Coach Duck, is like we said, is on vacation right now for a minute. So we got to deal with Dingbat 1 and Dingbat 2.
Take a sabbatical for his old man needs.
I say all that.
I said all
Remember,
that.
remember that, y'all.
And you can quote me, boy, because I said some shit.
But like always, grab your blunts, bones, papers, wax, weed, whatever you need to make a hot nigga pie. We gonna enjoy that ride. How was your day today, Sensei?
God damn, man. They got see, I had to get over there, get that shit on there, doc. And then I was like, what the day, man? They ain't want to do that shit there. And then I told them to get my ass and on the rainy day, man. I tell you that, man. I goddamn, man. Shit.
I almost ruined 3 little white girls' lives today.
How? What? No.
I was going
no,
into
no. What the? Okay, y'all see how I just tried to keep it light with the damn Boomhauer joke from King of the Hill. This motherfucker come in hot.
What's
What
up,
the fuck? Hell no. What is going on?
I forgot
here?
to pay the box before the stream started. That was my fault. But
What's she gonna be for Halloween?
I was when I told you I was like, I'll be back. I'm finna go grab some grub. I need to eat. Nigga, I get up the street. Soon as I hit the corner, fool, I just see a black ass dog. That nigga, me and the dog almost collided. One girl was on the left side of the street, and two of the other girls was on the other. You just see the other. She was the oldest. You just see her like this.
Hell no.
I'm sitting here thinking in my head, like, y'all do know he think y'all playing with him, right? Because y'all chasing him. Like, y'all trying to get him, but in his mind, y'all playing.
That shit's crazy.
Because all I seen when I hit the corner, fool, was a dog running, smiling. And he turned around and he looked at me like, oh shit, I fucked up. I hit the brakes so hard. Luckily, this wasn't one of them times I did one of the, the stopping roads. I actually stopped at the light. I mean, at the stop sign and then hit the corner. So lucky, because if it was one of them times where I just
Mello gonna feel, hey, what you do today? Mello gonna be looking at you. Mello, you gonna go home. Mello gonna be looking at you. Hey, it seemed like you did something today. What all you do before you got here, bro? Well, you seem a little off.
Doggo was gonna be no mo.
Mello gonna be suspect as hell at your ass. Hey, what you do, bro?
That shit was gonna hurt him. It was just been one of them days I had the music and I was just.
You just going, you poop. Ain't no right here.
Nah, it wouldn't have been no do. I would have had to stop, because I would have. Anywhere it go, I still would have seen him. It's just at this time, by the time he seen me and I seen Tim and we locked eyes, it would have been too late.
Your adventures be wow, man. For real.
Homeward Bound to turned into what's that one movie, fool? With Charlie when he died.
When Charlie died.
The dog. He had the Lawina friend.
Bruh. Oh my gosh.
I can't even think.
Dude. That shit. What was that movie?
The little cartoon.
Was it all dogs go to heaven?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it was. You said the little hot dog, all dogs go to heaven.
Yeah, Joe would have turned went from Howard Bound. I mean, Homeward Bound to all dogs go to heaven real quick.
Man, that shit, nigga.
Oh, that man. And he like he had a nice healthy coat and everything. Like they take care of him. That's what his name was gonna be.
Hey,
Charlie, no, don't leave me, Charlie. You wanna know what I probably would have did?
What? Just go game. They would have been. They ass would have been like Marlon off a haunted house when his dog got ran over in the first one, trying to resuscitate that motherfucker.
Hey, yeah, that movie is good though, Drake. Like I ain't making fun of it like that. I'm just saying that's how quick that dog was gonna be gone. It was about to be from a runaway to buried, nigga.
Hell no.
I ain't nobody talking about you.
See, he already know. Hold on. Hey, you suspect over here. You was finna do what today?
Technically, that should have been considered as an act of what's the name? I ain't gonna say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, have I ever tell you about the time I seen a cat do that?
No, nigga.
So, fool. All right, I'm coming out from my house, right? So, yeah. I'm going down Rains towards like you're going towards Elvis Presley, but I'm not going to Elvis Presley. I bust a right on Mill Branch, and it's the library, and then there's a school right there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm driving next to the edge of the curb, like by the curb and shit, right? I'm just sitting there driving, I'm chilling. Next thing I know, I see a cat at the edge of the curb, fool. It's like, man, they look at me again, fool. I hear my nigga in the passenger say, hey, you seen that? He said, yeah, that shit's suspicious as hell. So next thing I know, fool, I'm driving. I hear boop, boop. I just committed.
Said, hey, the motherfucker said, lighten up, light by, gotta make it count. We better go and be out. This gonna be the way.
Oh, I hit a bird before too.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So look, check it. I was
Animals
working.
just won't choose you to commit that, huh?
Check it, right? I was. It wasn't even that. Check it. I'm driving to Jacksonville. I mean, not Jacksonville. I'm driving to Jackson, Mississippi. Right. I had a job to do out there. I had a job where we traveled and do stuff. Right. So I'm sitting there talking with my homeboy. We sitting there smoking shit in the truck. No, we ain't supposed to be doing this shit, but we sitting there smoking this shit in the truck. That man say, "Have you ever hit a bird, fool?" I said, "Nah, but I always wanted to."
What the fuck? Why, nigga? You what?
Weeds.
This the motherfucker you serious smoke with y'all like, hey, y'all ever thought about going to Antarctica and punching a penguin?
So, cause it was like it's one of the most evasive animals when it comes to a car. So I'm sitting there driving, and it was like a swarm of. That's how we started talking about. It was like a swarm of birds, right? I don't know. I guess they was like chasing the dragonflies and stuff. Cause you gotta think about it, we in Mississippi. No, as a matter of fact, that's what they was doing. So as we driving,
shitload of bugs.
as we driving, fool, I see the dragonfly go across my windshield, and I see the bird.
I can't stand you, bro. That motherfucker was hungry. It didn't give a damn. It was chasing that motherfucker.
It was a wrap, fool. All he could say was, "Well, you can knock that off your bucket list." I said, "Mm-hmm."
I can't stand you, bro.
Yeah, that shit was a wrap, fool.
Oh my
That,
god.
Woo! I bet that shit.
Hey, did it go over the car like a movie or a motherfucking movie when you run?
It went over there as far as it was, because I was in one of them like hard trucks type shit. Cause I was at that point in time. That's when I was working for Hoods, where we would go around to like the restaurants and clean out the grease traps and shit. I about to say, you know what it is. You used to work in a restaurant.
Yeah,
Most
things be filthy as hell.
Filthiest job I ever
Bruh,
had in my
oh my
damn
goodness.
life. I used to hate that shit. I used to come
Like,
home
bruh.
as the color of his shirt.
Nick, hey, I was just gonna say it be that job and chimney sweeps like that.
Niggas still do that?
Yes. If an area like if it's a neighborhood where it's a lot of chimneys and they actually use them, because they still have neighborhoods, they build neighborhoods and they use the motherfuckers. They have companies that still do that shit, bro.
I didn't know niggas was still out here Mary Poppins and shit.
Oh yeah, they up dancing like a motherfucker on your roof, pop locking and shit. I'm like, damn, they getting it. All right.
Nello, you just came in the house. You not going back outside. Go sit down. Go sit down. Thank you.
I heard what you said about that dog.
He's still alive though. I ain't even tapping.
It was close. It was close enough. Oh shit.
Oh, if I would have hit that dog, this would have been a whole different podcast, fool.
He would have been in a suit and tie.
Man. Music playing, bro. RIP to the dog, dude.
It's so hard
RIP
say goodbye
to Black
to
Knight. I don't know.
Snowball.
He was just a black dog with a white chest, and the most contact I had with him was his face to my bike.
You an asshole, fool. You an asshole, bro.
But the time we spent together, you know, I felt like I knew him for a lifetime. Even though I had to scrape his jaw from the side of my shit.
Oh shit. This motherfucker is retarded as hell. Oh my god. Fool, you stupid.
Oh, but man, speaking of folks getting knocked out and shit, we're gonna go ahead and hop in today's main topic where we just gonna be getting into, you know, all the different type of architects when it comes to what? I'm just saying, what else can I say about a dog that I didn't meet until his face met my in the pavement? What do you expect me to say? The most I've ever heard from this dog is it barking at me and Miller when we be walking. I've never seen this dog a day in my life. Like,
And then on top of that, he don't even know if that was the same dog that was barking or not. So, in his defense, if it were to happen, he didn't know that bitch.
man, I was being as nice as I could. Look, these little white kids just should be happy that I was actually paying attention for once in my life and they dog is still alive. Okay, that's all I got to say.
We went straight to the house.
Scolding the shit
And,
out there.
hey, just know, regardless, they went back to their house and told their white parents that a black man almost hit their dog.
Ain't fault. They should have let the night escape out the house. Nigga, it was dark outside and I got 10.
Oh, they seen your ass in the daytime before. They know you black. They know who
Nah,
called you. They call it.
don't be seeing me.
Hey, that's that black guy. I like his car. I was there that time. The homeless guy said something about his car.
Thought I'd be playing. Boy, I hate sitting on my hair. And then I thought I'd be playing for random folks just be walking up to me like, I like that car. he actually got the kitchen one day. I'm pulling out of McDonald's. Like, I just got some food. I'm thinking these folks finna ask for some money or something. Hey. Like, that's literally how I turned and looked at it. I turned real slowly. I like your car. Oh, thank you.
Hey, fuck that. Hey, what dude say to
Is
us?
that a twin turbo?
What dude say to us when we was what was that, going to DreamCon or coming back?
Where was he at? Like,
We was at the gas station. He was up in the van.
oh, the dude from the church.
Yeah, the church van.
Dude from the church.
Yeah.
That man hopped out and walked up to me and Sensei in the back, standing in the back at the trunk. We mixing up some dub before we hit the road. This man came over. That man, I bet you get all the ass in that car. I was like, what?
This the church. I think he was the pastor preacher. Somebody that should not have came up to us like that.
Wait, what?
That caught us off guard. Like, I'm like, hold on. Look, when he said that, I was like, oh yeah, Smile, do the go ahead. Okay, Smile, that was a good one. And I did this, lean back some, and I looked, I was like, that's a church. That's a church.
Yeah, that might show.
And I looked at him, I was like, hey, that's a church man, nigga. What is he doing? What is he saying?
Like, damn.
Oh shit.
So I really don't though.
Still appreciate the cheer. I was sure like that's a church van, man.
Some people have given me some weird comments in their car since I've gotten their car.
That shit was funny as hell, y'all.
I just accept the shit and just keep on going because it's the car I wanted. So ain't nothing I can do but accept it. I asked for this. Shit, but
Like, hey, what's up? I don't want $1 or nothing. I just like your car.
I asking questions about the engine and everything. I'm like,
You inspired him to go get himself cleaned up, get a job, and get one.
it wasn't a him. It was a her, sir. It was a her.
Okay. Yep.
The him was in a wheelchair on the other side trying to get some money from the other entries. The only way I knew they was
That caught me
together
off
is
guard. All right.
the only way I knew they was together is because she said something to him. She was like, "Don't you like his car?" And they started talking about it.
Don't you like his car? You ain't wait till he came over there?
I ain't got time.
What
to
you
watch
look? Hold on.
I ain't got time to wait this nigga to roll over there. I was going somewhere. I think I was going to work. I was doing something. Nah, I was on the way to take my computer to get some stuff done on my computer at Micro Center. That's where I was heading to. Food cheaper on this side of town versus that side of town. So I was like, let me get something out. So, I was just thinking ahead of time. But we getting off subject. Let's get to the main video today.
we was on a subject?
Yeah, because I said, speaking of people getting knocked out, we're going to talk about the fighting games architect, and then you brought up the old woman talking about my car, which took us into a whole bunch of other shit. That happened.
I don't remember that Paul Pinky, but all right.
But it happened. You're going to get 600. You just over there talking about random shit. Cut the music, DJ.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna do what? It's talking about random shit. I
wasn't talking about you. I wasn't talking about you.
Okay.
When Riot revealed the gameplay trailer for its upcoming fighting game 2XKO, a user on Reddit described the game as a Tekken-like, which caused a collective facepalming of fighting game fans. It was like someone saw these
I
spring
watched
rolls
some of
and
that.
called them
I'm actually
Doritos.
ready for that.
Well, those spring rolls.
Tekken and 2XKO
So actually, nigga, if you go to 2XKO website, they'll send you the early access link to go ahead and download it now for PC.
Ooh. All right. Cool.
I just haven't. I found that out, and I just haven't did it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
You should, so we can get other people on. Especially since Prayer got him a computer too now, and all that, we can get more people on there.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
are obviously different to fighting game players, but it's not surprising how these games could seem similar to the layperson. Look at how many have a character select screen, a side view angle of both players facing each other, and life bars depleting towards the center until someone is KO'd. Win enough rounds and win the match. How can these games be all that different if so many share these fundamental characteristics? But the same can be said about a genre of music like rock.
Wait a minute, this sounds like rock and or roll.
Rock music mostly has some combination of electric guitars, bass,
and
kits,
or
and
roll.
around 3 to 5 members, but everyone knows punk rock is not the same as blues rock, which is not the same as technical death metal. There are so many different types of rock music now, but if you go back in time, you can trace its roots down to
Know
the
what?
father
Leave
of
it
rock
alone.
and roll, Chuck Berry.
If you were to try and give rock and roll another name, you might call it Chuck Berry.
Many
Hey,
Boy,
out of curiosity, what's your favorite Chuck Berry song?
my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my
When I
ding-a-ling.
was a little
Christmas
bitty
is the shit
boy,
because of that song.
my grandmother bought me a cute little toy. Silver bells hanging on a string. She told me it was my ding-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, my ding-a-ling. Oh, my
My
ding-a-ling.
ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. Hey, y'all listen to that song for Christmas.
Hey,
You'll love
y'all
it.
want to know something? Y'all want to know something wild? That used to be my alarm clock tone for the whole 7th grade. My whole 7th grade year. That's what I used to wake up to.
Hey, I like when they had R&B that shit up. That shit, it was funny as hell.
I ain't hear that version. I did not hear that version.
You know, the Temptations' old mother and shit. That's how it sounded.
Oh wow! I gotta try to find it.
artists contributed to the
shit's
birth
funny.
of rock, but Chuck Berry is described as the one who came closest to putting all the essential pieces together, thus forming an archetype. So too with fighting
trifling,
games,
right?
if you go back far enough, you can find its archetype, Street Fighter II: The World Warrior in 1991. Yes, it was inspired by many iconic fighting games before it, but they also served as prototypes that laid the groundwork for what Street Fighter II would become. Karate Champ in 1984 brought forward
Ooh,
the
I used
1v1
to play
side
that.
view martial arts game, but its clunky double joystick gameplay did not hold up.
I know about it, but I ain't never played it.
Man, bro, like my dad used to find those machines and game systems, Ataris, Segas, and all that shit, bro. Like, have full sets of like games to them. He was on them hoes.
Over time. ER Kung Fu had health bars and multiple characters, but it was sadly single player only, and even with all the lasting innovations Street Fighter 1 had, it still did not let you select a character. These games were popular and sold well, but none would get close to the impact and success of Street Fighter 2, which would go on to sell over 22 million copies across platforms. It just
He green as hell for that. He had to show that they put Chris Rock and Will Smith in that hole. That was petty as hell.
Too petty. Too fucking petty.
had the right combination of design and gameplay that became the basis for so many fighting games going forward, including major titles being made today. So what exactly are these design and gameplay elements that made Street Fighter II so successful that it transformed the arcade culture from one of getting personal high scores into one of beating an opponent?
You win.
Well, for starters, obviously a versus mode. Having the objective be to mess up another player is what largely distinguished the fighting game genre from the single-player and co-op beat-em-up genres. It's why people were confused when Sifu got nominated for Best Fighting Game at the Game Awards.
What the holy dumb Excuse me?
If there were a classification tree for fighting games,
I gotta start
post
saying
Street
that with the
Fighter
holy
II,
shit.
the fundamental
Like, for
characteristic
real.
at the top
There
would
ain't no
be
way.
versus
Sifu
mode.
for real?
From here,
It's
we
a
branch
good
off
game,
into
but
two
come on.
categories, archetypal and hybrid, or if you prefer, traditional and non-traditional, or, I don't know, classic and modern. Like many games before it, Street Fighter II was a 2D fighting game with a side perspective where both characters are always facing each other. This means that the character movement is described as moving backwards and forwards as opposed to merely left and right. Because it's a 2D game, you cannot evade attacks by moving to the third dimension any more than the original Pac-Man could over ghosts. This is why these NPCs can be so chill when a fight is happening right in front of them.
They knew shit
know
wasn't
they'll
gonna happen
never
to
get
them.
hit.
Man,
Modern versions of these games might have 3D models and environments, but if the gameplay still takes place in those two dimensions, you still have a 2D fighting game, though some will call them 2.5D. But while you cannot evade by moving into the third dimension, you can evade by going up really high. So characters higher than their own height, making the combat look like Cirque du Soleil. Making use of the 8-way joystick of the era, up was neutral, up forward was forward, and up back was back. Each of the 3-ways are at fixed heights, trajectories, and distances per character. Hold forward to walk forward, hold back to walk backwards, and hold down to crouch. Simple enough, but the directionals also control the blocking. You hold back to block, which is the same input to walk backwards, and hold down.
I'm so used to having to block like that, then when games do it a different way, that shit pisses me off.
Man, I was sure gonna bring that shit up.
Oh,
Cause it's like
God.
and like that little command mechanic. Hold on, I thought I heard something there. That little mechanic make a big difference to motherfuckers that used to playing like that. And
Hate
shit. Like
playing
just
like
like just like in skate, I'm not used to the controls on it, especially when it come to tricks and grinding and all that shit. I'm used to using the buttons. I'm used to Tony Hawk.
Yeah, you have fun with that. It look like it's gonna be just one big ass microtransaction, and I ain't there for it.
Back to crouch block. If you've noticed, all the game blocking are done on the 8-way joystick. This is because the creator of Street Fighter I, Takashi Nishiyama, wanted a 6-button game in an era where 2 or 3 was the norm. He would argue that a 6-button game wouldn't be too complicated if all the buttons did the same thing, attack. Nishiyama got his way, and Street Fighter would have no button and no block button for over 3 decades and counting. But there was an unintentional consequence of a hold back to block system, which had become a major part of the archetypal 2D fighting game to this day. The problem or feature of hold back to block is that the input for back changes depending on if your opponent is to your right or your left. If your opponent is to your right, you hold left to block. If they're to your left, you hold right to block. Simple enough, but which way should you hold here to block? Left or right? It's hard to know which direction is back if you don't know if your opponent will be to your right or
Motherfucker, you
your
gotta be
left.
quick with your damn
In
fingers.
this case, you must hold right to block because the opponent ends up to your left when the attack connects. Tricky, but
Yes, a-hole, and so many other words. He was getting to that. He got real irritated by it.
Man,
Somebody
damn.
asked you that before, haven't they?
You damn straight. Don't play the game and find the fuck out. Shit. Oh, oh, that's what happened? Be quick with your fingers next time. The fuck? Shit. Don't get me started. Play that shit. Don't get me started.
that's what makes it so good. An attack that suddenly requires you to switch blocking direction to defend is called a cross-up.
So the first guy I ever saw do cross-ups, his name was Tony Tsui. I was doing cross-ups myself, but didn't even know I was doing it. I just do that for whatever reason. If I into somebody really deep, all of a sudden the guy couldn't block it.
A big part of fighting games is to make your opponent defend incorrectly by mixing them up, which is unsurprisingly called a mix-up, but more specifically in this case, a left-right mix-up.
I always want to see this stuff on ESPN. Let's get rid of the spelling bee already. I don't care about kids memorizing words out of a dictionary. There's no resets in the dictionary. There's no cross-ups in spelling.
But it's hard to cross someone up when they're a moving target. Luckily, Street Fighter
I wonder how that would look if it was cross-ups and spelling bees.
That you that's what you that's what you was thinking about.
Would it be like extreme spelling bee?
I hate you.
You line all the kids. You line all the kids up in the back. First one to the mic, get the spell the word. So many times you don't make it to the mic, you out.
Well, you gotta be athletic and smart.
Pushing, tripping, shoving, all that's per game.
All that's legal. Motherfuckers got on helmets, mouthpieces, pads, and shit. And you just created a new sport. Contact spelling bee.
Extreme B, fool. Boom.
Extreme beat. Oh my goodness. They gonna by this time next year, they're gonna have a fucking game out like that, y'all.
And I'm gonna be watching it too.
Oh my goodness.
I'm be mad because they took my idea, but I'm gonna be watching it too.
I mean, like, I'm gonna call this man every time. Hey, I know you still mad, but did you see that little kid spit out his teeth though?
Man, I got knocked off the stage.
2 also introduced knockdowns, which rendered a player immobile but invulnerable until they got up again. With the opponent
And we gonna part 2 this shit too, y'all. So we doing this whole video tonight. We got other shit we want to do.
on the ground, you can get in position to plan your mix-up. If it hits like this, there's a small window where you can score another free hit afterwards before the game will let your opponent block. This glitch is what we now know as a combo. From here, you can do a special attack before your attack animation finishes and get a third free hit. Game is starting to look busted now. Look at this janky animation transition. Starting another move before the previous one finishes its animation
went
is
into a
called
low
canceling, a
kick.
staple feature of the 2D fighting game archetype and extremely impossible in real life. Street Fighter II lead designer Akira
What the fuck was it?
That was some motherfuckers doing karaoke and shit that dressed as them. Let's move on. If you ain't
We
seen
thought
that
this
video,
was
it's
quite
funny, but move on.
interesting, and it didn't seem to cause any bugs,
I have-
so we decided it could be a feature to expand the gameplay. So, another genre-defining accident.
Them
This
dudes
whole
funny.
glitch-filled attack sequence where you planned your left-right mix-up feels like you were setting your opponent up, which is exactly why they're called setups. But the left-right mix-up would not have worked if the game did not have hold back to block and used the block button instead. This is what Mortal Kombat did in 1992. When blocking is done with a button instead of a direction, there is no left or right blocking to worry about, meaning no left-right mix-up game to be had. Whether Scorpion throws his spear or does his side-switching teleport punch, the answer is the same, block button. This would actually be a nightmare to deal with if you had to hold back to block, because you'd have to walk backwards to block spear and forwards to block teleport punch. But funny enough, this nightmare came true when Scorpion became a guest character in Injustice, NetherRealm Studios' first hold back to block fighting game.
How can you say that this move has been toned down? Look at it, it's ridiculous. It breaks the rules of the game.
This became a great example of a guest character bringing over their abilities into a host world only to harass its people with never before seen technology. Basically, what I call
I
the
still
Predator
used to
effect.
fuck them up when they
Calls for
had
tournament-
Scorpion though. All you had to do was just like remember the timer of this shit, and soon he teleport, turn your ass around, and knock him the fuck out of the sky.
Apparently, some people aren't that smart.
True that.
Bans and nerfs would reach game director Ed Boon on social media, where he acknowledged the issue and promised changes. A glance at the 15-page thread on the Mortal Kombat testyourmight.com shows how divided people were when they found out Injustice would be a hold back to block game. Mortal Kombat is unique for being a major OG 2D fighting game that is not hold back to block. Its rock music equivalent would be Elvis, a major OG rock artist who stood out from the others by doing his own thing and taking the performative aspects to the next level.
I'm sure, like, what was
AKA
the
stealing.
But even without a left-right mix-up game, you can still have the high-low mix-up game, the question of whether you should stand block or crouch block, also known as blocking high or low. The rule established by Street Fighter II was that blocking high will defend against high attacks and attacks, but lose to low attacks, which makes intuitive sense, look how vulnerable those ankles are, and blocking low will defend against both low attacks and high attacks, but will lose to attacks. Not as intuitive, but that's the rule still used today. But high-low mix-ups in Street Fighter II weren't so scary because crouch block covered all attacks on the ground, and attacks were easy to react to with stand block because everyone was so damn high. But there was a downside of crouch blocking, which was that you couldn't move. So a spacing game was played where you'd try to tag your walking opponent with a quick and long low attack while avoiding or blocking theirs. One of the earliest examples of footsies, the strategic combat focused on movement and attack ranges. But even still, crouch blocking was really effective, so they had to add a couple things that could beat blocking, namely throws and chip damage from blocked special attacks. But as you can see, Street Fighter had a this beats that, but that beats this kind of rock, paper, scissors gameplay, but with every choice contingent on timing and spacing.
Tomo taught me a method called the TD: timing, distance, and reactions.
But a way to bypass this spacing game on the ground is to do an attack. But the downside is that you cannot block in the air, making it risky. A big part of the game was to make people impatiently bet you so you can strike them out of the air, also known as an anti-air.
What an anti-air!
This is how the game of fireballs and uppercuts became central to its gameplay. Street Fighter II's combat schematic became the foundation of the 2D fighting game and has been used in countless titles. But like with anything, the archetype would evolve, and in the early days, much of it was thanks to SNK, who poached the makers of Street Fighter 1, Takashi Nishiyama and Hiroshi
Shit, we got a
Matsumoto.
whole squad for Frag Point.
While Capcom focused on refining Street Fighter II gameplay with all its bazillion updates, SNK was working on new fighting game franchises and innovating like crazy. Art of Fighting in 1992 would introduce meter, super moves, taunting, and dashing where you tap forward or back twice for quick bursts of movement. Street Fighter would add all these mechanics to its core gameplay much later. In 93, weapon-based fighting game Samurai Showdown introduced running, tap forward twice and hold, something Mortal Kombat would again add a button for. Backdash and run would become standard in many fighting games going forward. But not all innovations stuck around. Nishiyama's Fatal Fury was the most experimental at the time, with its kind of 3D two-lane battle system, hold down forward to crouch walk, and a 2v1 co-op mode that made the good guys look like bullies.
They was just hating in that game then, because how many times the motherfucking good guy get shit in every fucking game? I used to love playing that motherfucking bitches.
Hey, check your shit. King of Fighters might still be free. That's how I end up getting it.
I think I already downloaded it.
Bet.
Introduced the team battle system where each player picks a team of 3 characters and the order in which they appear. When a character's life bar is depleted, the next character on the team takes over. The player who can eliminate all 3 of their opponent's characters wins the game. As their new flagship fighting game, SNK would continue to add features in each iteration. KOF 94 introduced spot dodging, a way to dodge in place for a moment to avoid attacks, a kind of a pseudo dodge into the 3rd dimension. In KOF 95, they experimented with the option to do a longer 3-way, and Fatal Fury 3 experimented with the short hop. By KOF 96, you could do a running short hop called a hyper hop, which allowed for some sneaky high-low left-right mix-ups. Combine this with rolling, an evasion mechanic that goes through fireballs and people, and you've essentially got the control scheme for what we know as King of Fighters gameplay. Tons of new movement and options added to the 2D archetype.
I think what makes KOF unique in the current era of fighting games is that its movement options are kind of like a happy between what you would find in old Street Fighter and also in anime air dashes and whatnot. Like there's a run option which increases the speed of regular interactions, several different kinds that all have strengths and weaknesses, and classically also just really good buttons.
In contrast, modern Street Fighter at the core still uses controls from Street Fighter 2, but with forward and backdashing added from 3 onwards. Yes, Street Fighter games have had mechanics like long parries, custom combos, and focus attack, but these act more like guess mechanics that change from game to game, which is why each Street Fighter iteration is so different yet so familiar at the same time. But the thing that binds Street Fighter, KOF, and other SNK games together is the rule that you cannot block in the air. This keeps players closer to the ground, which is why there should be a subcategory for grounded fighting games. A great example of a grounded fighting game is Capcom vs. SNK 2, which lets you choose which mechanics you want.
Did you ever play that, John?
Which one?
Capcom vs. SNK.
I did not.
That's something I did not play enough of. That's what I was saying.
No, I did not play it at all. I seen it a lot though.
Want your character to have through its groove system.
It merges and compresses basically a decade of fighting game history into one game and tries to create all these different mechanics or permutations of mechanics from each game's original series to make those characters feel like they could be at home. You can play with SNK style systems like with a spot dodge or with roll and with short hop. You can play with charge style
that dodge was fire as hell.
Style meter. You get a rage gauge and K group that's kind of like Sam shows, but with just defend that makes it feel a little bit like Garo Mark of the Wolves. But you can also play Capcom characters in those SNK systems, and you can kind of mix and match to really get something that feels like it's what you want.
Among USA player at this moment.
After Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo was released in 1994, Capcom finally started to flex their own innovations with Darkstalkers, their first post-Street Fighter 2 fighting game. It would introduce a third type of blocking, hold back to block in the air. But there was a caveat. Air blocking could only block attacks, not attacks from the ground, which includes uppercuts. This kind of partial air blocking was found in Street Fighter Alpha and more recently, the Granblue Versus series. In terms of offense, Darkstalkers implemented a primitive form of chain combos where a loosely dialed-in series of buttons would magically do a combo, a departure from the stricter link-based combo timings of Street Fighter and KOF-like games. It was around this time when combos were being recognized by both the players and the developers, and Combo Mania had hit a peak with the release of Killer Instinct, a game with a unique combo system that allowed you to do some that exceeded 10, 20, or even 30 hits during a match. But with great combos comes great one-sided gameplay, so they also...
Mom wanted to kick my cousin ass one day. That nigga hit me with one of the motherfucking hyper combos. I ain't know shit about that. At my house. Boy, control out my one side of that nigga head.
incorporated a way to stop your opponent's combo in the middle of it, the combo breaker. But preferences for a combo breaker system can vary, and typically SNK and Capcom fighting games tend not to have them. But while Capcom says no to combo breakers, they were completely okay with adding dashing. Darkstalkers was the first Capcom game to add dashing for the entire cast. But these were no ordinary dashes, and they varied from character to character. Some would hop, slide, or even fly like Morrigan. But Lord Raptor would go one step further and break the laws of physics by performing the first dash in the air.
Hey, I want to be a wolf nigga kicking somebody ass.
Where the two ninjas performed the first fighting game double in 1992. But how absurd would it be if everyone could air dash and double? What if everyone could also do chain combos? What if people could block anything in the air without caveats? It wouldn't be absurd, it would just be anime. Guilty Gear in 1998 would have air dash, double, and true air blocking for everyone, opening up way more interactions in the air and truly distinguishing itself from its grounded counterparts. This new type of
I ain't never played. I was thinking about getting a new one.
Was called anime.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to get the new one.
As a side note, the anime fighting game type mostly refers to the gameplay, not just the aesthetics. Some anime-looking games are known to have more grounded gameplay. I'm looking at you, Granblue, and DNF Duel. Anyways, in Guilty Gear X2 onwards, they added a clever combo breaker system called Burst, which became a defining mechanic of the series. It's clever because you can only do it when your gauge is full, which means there are times a player can do their combo uninterrupted, times when they can enjoy the counterplay of breaking the combo, or times when they counter the counterplay by baiting Burst and starting another combo, this time uninterruptible. These big brain mechanics are common in anime games, and it's where you can find the most creative and nerdiest systems akin to what you'd find in a collectible card game. In Under Night In-Birth, this grind grid gauge measures who has the most grid blocks by the time this ring-shaped meter is full, which then puts that player into a Vorpal state, which increases damage by 10% and gives them access to chain shift. Would you like to learn more? Here's 27 tutorials and a PhD when you're done. How about a game with such long unbreakable combos that players have time to take selfies while they're getting hit? Anime games take the 2D archetype and bring it up
What
to
the
11,
fuck? No.
visually, mechanically, and musically. If Street Fighter II is Chuck Berry, anime games might be progressive metal.
You know, they used to tell us our songs were way too long. We used weird time signatures and there were too many guitar solos. In fact, this song is in 17/8, so try to tap your foot to it. But we just won a Grammy, so I'm glad we didn't listen.
But Capcom had been building up to their own anime-like game, or more precisely, a superhero comic-like game. Right after Darkstalkers, Capcom released X-Men Children of the Atom, which introduced their take on Universal Super. Instead of making a longer fixed arc like in King of Fighters, Super and X-Men went really high. Like, so high they had to draw twice as much stage background vertically. They even made an indicator for the other player that was off the screen below. But it wasn't just the height that was unique. Super also let you drift your character left and right in the air for the first time, kinda like you do in platformers. You could also do multiple attacks in one, and characters like Storm had an 8-way air dash, and Sentinel could literally fly. Combine this with the fact that you can block anything in the air, you wonder why even be on the ground? You'll just be susceptible to high-low mix-ups anyways. In the air, there is no standing or crouching state, so there are no high-low mix-ups to worry about. Holding up back to an air block because you're too chicken to deal with a high-low mix-up on the ground is called chicken blocking. But this made air combat so good that they also improved ground mobility with dashes that you could cancel into other commands. You could even dash and cancel into another dash, which is known as wave dashing, allowing players to move extremely quickly on the ground. But with movement, blocking, and multiple attacks all available while super, you ultimately got a lot more battles in the air, like a superhero comic book. This type of fighting game alone would be enough to distinguish itself from other genres, but this series of games was just getting started.
They're just flying.
In 1996, Capcom would release X-Men vs. Street Fighter, which would become one of the first tag team fighting games, not to be confused with the existing team battle system in KOF, which only switches characters when one gets eliminated. A tag fighter lets you switch between your selected characters with a command, and depending on the game, you can even fight simultaneously with some limitations. But what really changed everything was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which lets you call out your teammate to briefly assist you in the fight, also simply known as calling an assist. Again, SNK had a primitive version of this back in KOF 94 where you could call in a teammate only if you were stunned or in a hold. But in Marvel, you could call an assist almost any time you're able to attack, allowing for some oppressive offense and combos. Like, how do you block when your opponent hits you while their assist hits you low at the same time? If perfectly synced, it's theoretically an unblockable. To give the defender a chance against this kind of oppressive offense, there was a mechanic that pushed your opponent away while blocking called push block. But the downside of having multiple characters on screen at once is that you can also get them all killed at once. When two characters of the same team are caught in a deadly combo, it's ironically called a happy birthday.
Oh my goodness. Happy birthday.
Damn.
Fuck them. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna start saying
In the
this
rare
shit now,
case
nigga.
it's
Happy birthday.
3 characters,
Man.
it's called a Merry Christmas, giving new meaning to the joy of giving.
Oh my goodness, that was a Merry Christmas. Well, I ain't seen a Merry Christmas in years.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 would establish itself as an archetype for 2D
That's
tag
because
fighters, which
motherfuckers
became
ain't
known
got no
as
game
a
like that
versus
no
game.
more.
But this tag
That
system
people
is also
play,
seen in
just
games like
like this.
Skullgirls, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, and Dragon Ball Fighters, which are varying blends of versus and anime. If you look at the 3 subcategories of the 2D hold back to block games, you can notice there's a gradation that goes from you sure you want it all the way to why the hell are you not? The archetypal 2D fighting game evolved to go more upwards. Makes sense because you certainly can't go into the background. But what if you could? Rewind back to 1993 and you have Virtua Fighter, the first 3D fighting game with actual polygons and a 3D camera. At first glance, it looks like a 2D fighting game just with 3D graphics, but this is no 2.5D game. The background is now empty because it now has become part of the playing field. In terms of fighting games and gaming in general, it was revolutionary.
I remember
There's
that
an
game.
old Game FAQs guide from 1994 that describes it best.
Take a look at this. I found this on the internet.
Different is good. With the release of their first ever fighting game, Sega has broken new ground by designing the only current martial arts game whose draw
That's
is
why his ass had a
violence
present
or
with you.
the
Merry
ever
Christmas,
popular magic
motherfucker.
moves, but whose draw is realism,
I'd say it at the
fluidity
end
of
of the show.
motion, and genuine martial arts techniques. But this focus on realism and genuine martial arts also affected the gameplay. Walk speeds were more realistic, attacks had way more frames of animation, and high
Merry
jumping became
Christmas,
much
you
less
filthy
effective,
animal.
to the point where 3D fighting games eventually
And a
phased
Happy
them
New
out.
Year.
This basically eliminated the left-right mix-up game, and like Mortal Kombat, 3D fighting games focused on the high-low mix-up.
Is your Tekken 7 champion?
The high-low blocking rules are similar to 2D games, except that highs are now always duckable, and attacks are now called mids. They changed the name because in 3D games, most attacks that beat crouch blocking could now be done from the ground. Moves like gut punches, knees, and hop kicks became typical indicators of mid attacks, and Virtua Fighter suddenly made it extremely dangerous to crouch block because you cannot react to most mid attacks like you can with Cirque du Soleil attacks. In later 3D fighting games, these mids could launch you and lead to a juggle combo, easily doing 40% or more damage. Whether they knew it or not, the mid would become a game changer. Over time, more and more 2D fighting games started to have mid attacks of their own called overheads, with a visual cue of an attack hitting downwards or a hopping attack, but they generally aren't as scary as mids in 3D games. Because crouch blocking became so risky, it became overall safer to stand block, which is the opposite of
I can't stand that wench.
Who?
The old girl from Tekken they was just showing.
Man, yeah, you gotta know how to use her to really just go ahead and make, like, flow with her combos.
2D
And
holdback.
that's just a regular combo.
But the high-low mix-ups get even harder to block because Virtua Fighter allowed you to press certain sequences of buttons which would activate a flurry of attacks that can be a mix of high, low, and yes, mid attacks. These are called attack strings, and recognizing these patterns can help you defend against them, but with so many strings and variations, you're bound to get hit by something. This is the high-low mix-up game of the archetypal 3D fighter, and in a way, there are a lot of parallels to modern Mortal Kombat, which also has attack strings with mids and a juggle-centric combo system. But Mortal Kombat is a 2D game. What was it that made Virtua Fighter play like a 3D game, not just look like it? In 2D fighting games, you can't.
I'm not gonna lie, looking at that time, it's almost time to end that hoe. So we gonna cut this there. We're gonna pick up from next time. But before we go, before we go. So check this out, right?
What?
Motherfucker had went to like the little convenience store. We got a convenience store. It's not the mall, nigga, like a small little. It's just in the middle of the walkway, nigga. It's just, bro, the
Okay.
folks so ghetto. Them folks be shooting music videos in there.
What?
This ain't even what I wanted to talk about, but it just popped in my mind because I'm talking about it. But yes, they be shooting music videos in that damn place.
In the middle of the mall corner store, they shoot videos.
You know what? The next time I go, and they doing it because they normally do it on weekends, I'm
Mhm.
record it, fool.
Please do.
But anywho, I had some folks go over there to that place and give me a 100 bond, right? So I'm standing
Mhm.
in the front because I was holding somebody's place until they get back. So I just got my 100 bun in my goddamn hand, and I see this man walk. I'm like, man, if you don't hurry your ass up so I can eat my goddamn 100 bun. So he walked to the back, come back up there, fool. He said something to me. The first thing that came out of my mouth, fool, if you don't get the fuck out of my way, Stanley.
Bro, irritating. I already helped you out, and you trying to stop me from doing what I need to do? Hell no.
Like, bro,
I'm waiting for you to get done with the joke, because you said you had something to say.
It was in my mind to do it because I had, yeah. But yeah, man, if I got on my damn nerve, that shit, bro. I come back about that 100 bun. You goddamn right, that 100 bun was good.
No
Fuck
thanks
yeah.
to your ass.
Thank you. Oh, regular motherfucker. In the goddamn way, bro. Motherfuckers just don't know how to be out the way. You just gotta be in the way. Did I hold you up when you needed to go do what you wanted to go do? No, nigga. I said, go ahead. I got you.
Your spot was still here, fucker.
I come back now. All of a sudden, you wanna. Then this nigga gonna have the nerves of going, hey, can I ask you a question? What, fool?
No.
Would you buy your friends some shoes? Fuck no.
I ain't even know the question. I already knew it's no.
You said so you wouldn't buy no shoes with me? Fuck no, nigga. Who the hell no? The hell? I buy some shoes. I buy some shoes for you. I wouldn't want you to. You need some help get some shoes. I can lend you some money, but you gotta pay it back. This ain't no friendship, nigga. It's like I'm not just giving you no money to get no damn shoes.
This here is a long. That shit's crazy.
But you streaming?
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Appreciate everybody coming through the Highly Social 901 where you come to chat, but you stay to chill. I'm your host, Loud. This is your other host, Sensei. We about to end this. You can catch us on our separate streams in a couple of minutes. We're about to load up that frag. We got a full team tonight, so I ain't gonna lie. Jokes and shit should be flying left and right, especially the folks that we gonna have in there.
You superhero? Thick woman. Okay.
Why I did this and this? She
did this. Look, when you said the Loud did this.
No, I did that first, and then she came in with this shit.
Did first, and then you did that. I was looking at you, so I ain't see it.
It works.
We ignorant as hell.
All right, we gonna get up with y'all next time.
Yeah, we'll catch y'all folks later.